Hey guys.
Oh, there's already people on.
Hey y'all. Let's see. Let's do this so we can see the chat. Yeah, you guys beat us in here. We started it and we didn't sit down. How's everybody doing? Hello. For those of you watching the replay, hello. Y'all almost did not have us live tonight because we laid down on the couch and we both started dozing. We're like, we gotta do live video. We gotta get up. So having some tea so that I can be awake and enjoy talking to you guys. Yeah, that was dangerous. It was like 15 minutes before we were supposed to go live when we laid down there. I was like, oh man.
I think I'm still there.
You think you're still there? This is just a dream state. Man, the time change is still like kicking my butt, to be honest. Hey, Homestead in the Highlands. I'm glad that you got to pop in even for just a second. Hey, Walter and Homestead. Thanks, Tammy. Yeah, no, the kids wouldn't let us sleep for very long. Of course, our kids are only allowed, like, we don't do a lot of screen time during the week, and they can only play, like, sometimes they'll watch shows or, like, movies during the week, but largely not, but no video games. That's only on, like, certain times of the weekends, and so that's where our kids are whenever we're doing lives, is they're getting to have their video game time for the week, and so they might have let us sleep for a little while. That's what I'm saying.
Depends.
We already fed them dinner, so there would be no reason for them to
If they're trying to like sneak and get by with something, they'll let us sleep. That's fine.
They would have left us alone. Thank you, Siren Song. I appreciate that. Hey, Naturally NC. Hey, Broussard. Oh, you'll forgive me, Broussard Homestead, for making you dance.
That's all on him.
It was enjoyable for everybody else, at least. So, yeah, when the kids are teenagers, we'll get to sleep in. Yeah, the older kids, they're past the point of wanting to hang out with us every morning at 6:30 in the morning. Sharon, it is tough. It's a tough adjustment to make. I've had a really hard time with this time change. Any ideas for a sugar-free elderberry syrup, Ginger? I don't know. Does anybody have any ideas for that? I've never really been faced with the prospect of making one. You know, you could make a tincture and have the benefits of elderberry without having any sugar. But to do a syrup, I don't really know. I don't know much about, like, sweet, like, you know, sugar-free sweeteners. Oh, Tammy Gear, major Christmas decorating has started in the Gear household. We're actually probably going to pull some stuff down. I don't put the Christmas tree up till after Thanksgiving because we get a real tree. So, you know, you want it to be fresh. But I'm thinking I might do a little bit of decorating. We're starting to hang the shiplap this week downstairs. So we may just focus on that. Gwen Poole had a meal after church and it made me so sleepy. I had to get outside to avoid a nap. I made some really good soup today. I've cooked so much this weekend.
Yeah.
Made a jelly without the sugar with elderberries. That's interesting. Calvi Homestead said, already rewatching your garden videos and ordering seeds for spring. So I had this kind of like really romantic image because we're working on the basement, which several of my sweet viewers from like the UK were sharing that rooms like that are called like the snug, or like, I guess you call it the snug. I don't know. Correct me, British friends. Is it, you call it the snug? Is that like what it is? Those rooms are just called like a snug, or is it a snug room? Like what exactly do you say? But I love that. Like, I love the idea of that name. But the snowed in, where
Homestead in the Highlands says a snug.
A snug. Okay, so yeah, I love that. And so we're working on, I haven't quite gotten used to calling it that. I just turned the heat on and started drinking this tea, so I'm feeling it.
And you're sitting next to your hot husband.
Oh my gosh, you're so uncomfortable. It made me so embarrassed. So we're working on that room, and I've had this romantic image of like doing these videos, looking through catalogs next to the fireplace. So I haven't done those videos yet, but if we aren't able to get that done pretty soon, then I'm gonna have to do them just upstairs at the table. Now that our really cold snap is over, green zebra gardening, I'm enjoying the current weather. Like we're like in the 50s during the day, which try to convert that. I have to still look it up. I'm getting better on some things, but I try to always convert it for our friends who are on centigrade. What's wrong, darling?
I see that there.
10 degrees Celsius. That's
what?
There's one downstairs on the.
We're gonna clean out that.
We're gonna clean that up
come say hi to
after the
everybody.
Uh-huh. Live, okay?
Come say hi.
Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Love you, Mom.
I love you. No.
Hey, I love you too, Ben.
Aspect traditions. We get our live. We usually get it the day. Probably not the day after Thanksgiving. Usually it's like the Saturday after Thanksgiving. We usually have it up by Sunday night. We have the house decorated by Sunday night. And I usually go shopping like the weekend after Thanksgiving, but I don't buy a whole lot of stuff because we're pretty, like we're actually working on it today. We actually make like Christmas lists before, and we really stick to those lists. And so if something that's on our list goes on sale, we'll go buy it, but we don't go just like buy good deals because they're good deals, because you end up buying junk you don't need that way. Hey, Stivers. Hey, Goldshaw Farm. Oh, so many great people here. Somebody asked questions and I was... Oh, Homestead Dreaming. I'm sorry. You got a sick babies. Hey, Lauren. What's up? Jessica Chaffee from Angry Rooster Homestead. Angry Roosters, not my favorite thing. But
we don't have
I
any
dig your
roosters.
We don't have any roosters at all.
Well, angry ones usually end up getting eaten.
Randy is no longer with us. I mean,
don't know what happened.
We didn't find any like.
I mean, can we really blame him? He had like 30 sister wives.
Pecked, and so he just deuced out one day.
I mean, I just don't think he could deal with all the drama and gossip.
One time we had a stray rooster that just showed up here. And I was like, wow, we live in the country to have a stray rooster.
We also had someone come and steal 12 chickens out of our chicken coop one night.
Yeah. Yes, Josh, the city said people definitely are crazy the weekend of Thanksgiving. I was wondering, like, is Black Friday still that relevant? Because I feel like they pushed it up and pushed it up and pushed it up, and they got so competitive about it. Like, even right now, like I was looking up like Black Friday ads, because now that I have like teenagers, they want like,
more expensive like
electronic things. And so I was looking at Black Friday ads, and it's like all the stuff is like, oh, you can get these Black Friday sales now. And I'm like, that's not a Black Friday sale. That's just a sale. And I wonder, is Black Friday even really still a thing?
I don't think so.
Because I wonder if the cyber sales would just like put that under. I don't know. Anyone ever try the Yukon winter lettuce mix from Territorial Seed? I'm looking for something that could survive the cold snaps that we have here in October, November, so it lasts the longest it can. Does anybody have any input on that? Yeah, I mean, I agree. Cyber Monday is like, online deals just completely change it. I have online Christmas shopping party at my house the day after Thanksgiving. We shop in our PJs. Tammy Gear, that's the way to do it. Last year, we didn't go anywhere on Black Friday. We stayed home the entire time. Didn't we? I thought we did, and we went shopping Saturday.
Maybe it was Saturday. We went and got Elizabeth that laptop. I know that.
Maybe we did go Black Friday really briefly, and then we did.
But like it was one of the doorbuster Best Buy things that we showed up like the next morning, like mid-morning,
yeah, they just
10 o'clock, and they had tons of them. I was like, oh, I guess for all those people who stood in line at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, good job.
Siren Song, we live like 30 minutes from town for most places. Like There is a town about 10 minutes from us that has like a little grocery store and like, well, they had a Fred's, but it went out of business. Didn't the Fred's go out of business? And then like a Dollar General, like it's just like a tiny little town, but you can get, I'm going to say you could get milk and eggs there, but I mean, you can buy like conventional food there. You can't like, there's not a lot of like organic stuff. We don't really go there very much unless it's like absolutely necessary. We'll run into that town. That's where our P.O. box is. But other than that, it's about like 30 or 40 minutes to get much anywhere. See you, Kira. We do have neighbors, sort of, like nobody is super close to us. We rent the house next door from Jeremiah's sister. We use that property and the house is empty. We have like, it's stored, using it for storage. His mom lived there before she passed away. And then we have other houses around us. So we have people close by, but not like, you can't see anybody from our house. Hey, Farmer Me Mom. I've only done Black Friday once. I was 40 and 7 months pregnant in line at Kohl's for 3 hours, never again. So my mom and I used to go do Black Friday. Like, I mean, I'm talking like when it was still relatively like a new big deal that stores were opening up at like 5 a.m. And we would get up and go. I used to work in like the mall when I was a teenager. And back then it was like stores weren't opening at 5 a.m. And then I remember when they started that and me and my mom and sister would go and it was like our thing. And we did that for a few years and it was really, really fun. But then they started getting to like 3 a.m. and then they started opening on Thanksgiving. And when they started opening on Thanksgiving, I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. This is ridiculous. And so I will not go anywhere on Thanksgiving, even though stores are open. Like, I make sure we have everything beforehand and we don't do any shopping on Thanksgiving. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate that. My brother is actually my tattoo artist that did all this stuff. What are the kids wanting this year for Christmas? So Legos, that's like a big one for our kids. My big kids, they like electronics. Like Jackson's big thing that he really, really wanted. And he just had his birthday and he was like, combine my birthday gift. Cause he really wanted this like Oculus Quest thing. And he's like asking everybody to kind of like chip in on this. Cause it's like an expensive thing. And so like we're kind of planning on doing that, but we've not bought a gift that expensive. We're usually like we try to do really thoughtful, like non-consumeristic Christmases. But it's like when your kids get to be teenagers, it's just like a total game changer. So they want like expensive things. Was there a question on the shindig date? Actually, I think Ben and Andrew are going to come over like in the next week and we're shooting a video giving you guys all the details about the shindig. But just so you know now, it's the first weekend in April, which is the 3rd and 4th of April.
3rd and 4th of April.
Yes. Lauren, are you signed in to a different one or is that a different Lauren Hall? Because I saw the Rooted Wanderers on. Yeah, I don't know. Can I get a barn out of Legos? That's funny. Benjamin, they did have like a little like Lego Duplo set that was like farm animals. And Benjamin asked me for all the tractor sets, which were the Lego sets, which were tractors. Cause he saw these little, so we were looking and I was trying to like kind of gauge what it was that they were wanting. And he was seeing these little Lego sets that were tractors. And I mean, they're like $7 to $10 each. They're just these little small ones that he could build with help and play with. And so that was one of the things on his list. All the Lego sets, which were tractors. Thank you, Emily, for that super chat. We appreciate that. What do we want? Clinton, I mean, like we have a few little things that we put on each other's lists to get, like some shoes and like a robe and like, just a few odds and ends little things. But like for the most part, I don't think we're doing anything major. One thing that Jeremiah really likes to get, which is like a funny thing that me and the kids have like made a point in buying him every year for holidays, is Lego sets, like the Star Wars Lego sets, because he builds them and he has like a shelf for them, just like his little thing. So the boys like Legos because Daddy likes Legos.
Bear, get out of that.
Ooh, little bear. Oh, Anna Walker. Yes, the snow den. The snow den is the snug. It's gonna be my Christmas gift largely. Farmer Boy, I love hearing that. Congratulations. That's so wonderful. So, hey, Farm Life Outfitters, what's up? So we've got the basement and it's in process. And so like, it's been empty. It's been cleaned out, and Jeremiah and Ben Turner have been working on some other things and getting ready to go in and hang the shiplap, right? Well, he's been letting the little boys play down there. And they just dump Legos out, and it's just a big empty room. You know, whenever you're little, like a big empty room is just like amazing. And so they've been playing down there. Well, the other day we were having to move because Jackson kind of set it up. He had some friends over and they set it up to hang out down there, which was cool. And the big boys, the teenagers, were moving this coffee table through. And I'm like, be careful. It's like a Lego landmine. And they're stepping all on these Legos. And they're like, this is the worst. And I'm like, I know. And they're like, well, now I know what, like my mom was always saying to pick up a Lego. So I'm like, wow, yeah, you're old enough to finally learn and have some retribution for that. Hey, Amy, what's up? It's cousin Amy.
Yeah, Ben sent me a picture of the lightsaber he made, the first one.
Oh,
cool. He's machining them.
That's cool. That's really, really cool. His boys love lightsabers. I'm doing actually quite a few homemade gifts for like my friends. I'm doing some different homemade gifts. And a few things, like I shared with you guys that I was drying basil and doing some stuff like that. And then I've got a few like purchased gifts that I have in mind for some of my friends. But like, I don't know. I really love doing homemade gifts. That's really cool. You'll have to show me pictures of that.
I don't know how he's working out all the lighting and soundboards and all that. I know you can order just the electronic parts and then put them inside your own machine pieces. So I'm assuming he's going to figure out how to get them to light up and all that, I would guess.
So I like never cross stitch all year until it's Christmas time, and then I cross stitch gifts, like little funny things. Like I'll do stuff like that. And somebody asked about like what kind of homemade gifts, which I don't want to like give it away because like a lot of friends because like I can't really give seeds as gifts because like all the people that are close to me, like they are welcome to raid my seed room at any point in time anyway. So like that's not really something that I can like wrap up for Christmas. So I don't know. I hope oh yeah, sugar scrubs are really good gifts. Is our screen? No, it's not frozen here. Oh, Lauren's back on the right account. I saw your comment. I was like, that sounds like my Lauren, but is this another Lauren Hall that is sounding a lot like my Lauren Hall? What is this? Hey, baby, will you please make sure the kids aren't on the Wi-Fi because it keeps lagging, people are saying. Farmer Meemaw, that's good. That's a good idea, asking for books, Nourishing Traditions, Nourishing Diets, and anything by Joel Salatin. That is really good. I've just finished The Marvelous Pigness of Pigs, and I'm just going to start it over again. Man, such a good book by Joel Salatin. Food Forest Next Door. Etsy is where I've been getting my patterns for cross stitching. Life with Linda. Did you get my question about the Berkey water filter? No, I've not seen that, but if you want to ask it here, I can answer it. Or where did you ask it? I'm drinking, what's it called? PG Tips. It's black tea with a little bit of honey and cream in it. How do you sleep with caffeine at this time of night? Lindsay, it's a gift or an indicator of my very unhealthy sleep schedule. I'm just really tired. So like I can drink coffee at night or tea and still go to sleep just fine. Are you going to the Polyface event? Jacob, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I would love to, but we're actually not committing to any, I should say much, because there are a couple of things we're planning to do at the end of the year, towards the end of the year. but we're not planning on doing just a whole lot until we have a couple of things nailed down. And so I don't know, but I would love to go to that event. It sounds really amazing. Okay, Life with Linda. I will check it out after we get off of this. How many mugs do you drink of tea? I don't drink a lot at night. Like I might drink a mug of something. Like this has 2 tea bags in it. So this is a pretty big mug. But I won't have like multiple mugs of anything at night. I usually drink a cup of coffee in the morning, and then I'll usually drink another cup of coffee or tea at some point, like after lunch. And then I usually drink another cup of tea, usually at night. Of Little and Light. Jerry gets so annoyed hearing the name Joel Salatin. Yeah, Joel Salatin gets quoted and mentioned a lot around these parts. I'm not sure when the Polyface event is. It's in the summer, June or July, I think. Does anybody know when that is?
Said it was July.
Now, if I oh, Nanda, she said, I just bought myself an espresso machine. All your fault. Bad influence. Coffee Sisters. Yeah, I do have an espresso machine. It's just like a small Breville, like personal, like home. It's the Barista Express, I think is what it's called. And yeah, so I guess I can show you guys which one I have. And it was okay. So we live so far out in the country, and is that the one that we have? Oh man, we didn't pay that much for it. Sorry, I was just talking about this with Daniel. Daniel was here this weekend. You guys are going to see him in the vlog, but this is the one that we have at our house. But yeah, we use it a lot. We live so far out, and we have everything we need.
We make better coffee than Starbucks anyways.
I know, like we don't go get coffee out. You put a video out a month or so ago entitled The Story of a Bird. I just want to tell you that God really used that video to speak to me and answer a question I've been asked. And thank you. I mean, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that encouragement. I'm so glad to hear it. Ooh, sourdough starter. Do you bake sourdough? And if so, do you have any advice? Okay, so I actually have in the past, but I do not like routinely keep that going. But Andrea Vincent from VW Family Farm, she has a channel. She does a lot with sourdough. She's a really good source for information on that. Israel was really good for Daniel. He showed me some of the vlogs that he's been working on. He was having some issues, like technical issues, and getting them done, but those should be up soon for you guys to watch.
What music do we listen to?
Well, I get like musical, like I get completely stuck on stuff and I listen to songs on repeat. And so actually the album that I've been listening to on repeat today is an album from the 90s, and it's like a worship album, but there's this song called You Have Redeemed My Soul on there. It's called Enter the Worship Circle is the album. And that song is so good. That particular one, this is the cover art. Where is it? Do you see that? Darn it. I don't know that it's going to show. There you go. There it is. I've been listening to that nonstop today.
What's up, Baker Acres?
Like back to back. But yeah, like I love worship music. I have like a particular sound that I really love, which is like really acoustic. I love the acoustic guitar. It like speaks to my heart. And so I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that I'll listen to if it has that sound.
Daniel is about to release another CD.
Yes, Daniel's working on another album. I don't know what the date is like. He actually gave me y'all, my hair is bothering me. He actually gave me the one of the first like mastered copies of it today, but my CD player in my car is making a weird noise, and so I was kind of nervous to put it in there. We have old cars. Sometimes they do things like break your CD. So
yeah, we've listened to Josh Garrels.
Jerry Walker. I love Josh Garrels. Another one I really, really like is Chris Renzema. He's one that is really like kind of starting to take off. He wasn't nearly is known a couple years ago. Like, and I think he's really starting to produce more stuff, and he's getting more known. He opened for like Chris Tomlin at the Red Rocks a couple of months ago, and that was like his first big thing that he's done. But he's really, really good. I love the way he sounds. Will Reagan and United Pursuit. That's one. Let's see. I'll just look at my music.
David Melissa Helser.
The Hulsers. I love the Hulsers, Cageless Birds. Okay, so I've been like unashamedly. Oh, my baby dog is in Jeremiah's spot. Jeremiah gets up whenever we'll be like sitting on the couch. Jeremiah will get up and Bear will look at me. And he'll look at the door and he'll come over, like just crawl right up into Jeremiah's spot, lay down. Jeremiah will come back in. Bear will just get like he knows. So I've been like unapologetically listening to Christmas music already because I'm that person. Yeah, I Need to Breathe is really good. Hey, the Honeystead. Hey, Kilted Gardener. I don't know if you, Kilted Gardener, you may have been in here, but I'm just seeing your name for the first time. Yeah, Pre-Bethel Corey Asbury is really good. I'm trying to think of what else. I like a lot of artists, like older stuff before they started like producing for radio. I like Jason Upton pretty good. Going through here and singing.
Christmas music starts like October 15th. I
didn't this year.
Yes, you did.
It didn't get cold.
You were sneaking it or something.
It didn't get cold. Not until it gets cold. The first day that it gets like really cold, and it's usually at night. Like the first time I listen to Christmas music, it's usually night because it gets cold at night first. Gotta wait till it's cold to get the Christmas music going.
Nope.
I have listened to it in the summer before. Like I'll turn the air conditioner on in the car really high. Listen to Christmas music by myself. My favorite Christmas song is "Oh Holy Night," or I love "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." It makes me think of my grandmother because I remember her playing that. My grandmother was a pianist, and she didn't play a whole lot whenever I got older, but I do have a memory of her playing that. And so, yeah, I just play that on the piano and sing it.
My favorite Christmas album is an album by Reliant K.
Oh yeah, that's
which is like an old school, like.
Okay, so if we're talking
Christian, like I don't even know what style they'd be.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Kind of like the Christian version of.
They're kind of
some emo band or something, punky.
Yeah.
Anyways, they did a Christmas album and it's really good.
It's called "Let It Snow, Baby." Is that it?
Let it snow, let it reindeer.
Yeah. And there's a song on there that says. Which one is I Celebrate the Day? I love that song. It's so good.
It's a great Christmas album.
Oh, the Honeystead's holding out for Thanksgiving to listen to Christmas.
You also know who does some really good Christmas music is that a cappella group.
Pentatonics.
They can sing some Christmas music.
Whenever Jeremiah and I were first married, like it may have been our first Christmas. So there's this Reliant K song, and it says, "Emotional girls should all wear mood rings." And I went into like Claire's or something, and I bought this mood ring, and I wrapped it in like a clothing box. And of course, it was really lightweight. Wrapped it and gave it to him. I'm like, I bought this. And I was like, he's like, "What is it?" I was like, "It's something for me to wear." And gave it to him. He did not think it was funny whenever he opened it, but he always listened to that song. So he's gonna get me a mood ring.
Reliant K has a song about girls,
emotional girls.
And it's hilarious. It's a hilarious song.
I thought it was hilarious because I pulled it on him. He was always saying he was gonna get me a mood ring, and I was like, I don't want to wear it. I was like, see, it's no big deal. He didn't think it was funny. Three Wise Men. Cool, Xavier. I'll check it out. Reliant K, yeah.
I love Reliant K. I basically have all their albums.
Which we don't listen to much till Christmas time. Yeah, I don't really.
I listen to their stuff, but I don't listen to their Christmas album until Christmas time.
Melissa, I want to say that's on maybe Pentatonic's record, the Hallelujah Christmas one. I love Christmas music though. Okay, so there's an album this is one that is just very nostalgic for me. But it's James Taylor's Christmas album. that's one that I always listen to. And I mean, it hasn't been out that long. It's not like one from like my childhood or anything, but it's one that I've listened to for, I mean, a good long while. How long has that album been out?
Which one?
James Taylor at Christmas, 2006. So I mean,
12 years.
Yeah, 13, I guess. Yeah. So I remember listening to that like whenever Jackson was little, and so that's one that.
Mary, did you know?
Yeah, that's a really good one. If you haven't listened to James Taylor at Christmas, there's like a bonus track version, and it's really, really good.
Trans-Siberian.
Oh yeah, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. They usually come here, and they come here right before Christmas, and they do like a tour and stuff.
Yeah, Life with Linda. I was telling Jessica about that. That Mary, did you know, was written by Mark Lowry, which is a Christian comedian. And I was actually at one of his live shows in Oklahoma whenever he was like hadn't even released that song yet and sang it. And that's always been stuck in my memory. It became one of the most like famous Christmas songs.
Yeah, I do love good. I love some. Bing Crosby. Yep, gotta have Bing Crosby. Okay. So I kind of want a record player. Like this is a thing that my brother has one, and so he's always listening to like records. And I was telling Jeremiah earlier, I was like, because I was thinking of like listening to Christmas music on vinyl. I was like, Maya, we should get a record player and listen to vinyl in the basement near the fire. And he's like, you are so, would you say romantic?
No, I said you're the queen of nostalgia.
I'm the queen of nostalgia. I know. Yeah, Dean Martin.
No, Life with Linda. We don't listen to that. We only listen to the appropriate version.
Have y'all seen that joke?
Baby, it's cold outside, but you feel free to say no.
Have y'all seen that spoof of the Baby It's Cold Outside that they did last year? I thought it was really
that funny. Family that does all the singing.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a good. That was.
What is their names? I can't remember. No, I love Dean Martin. Actually, that would be one that I would want to get on a vinyl. Perry Como. I'm going to have to come back and read all these comments so I can write them down whenever I can look it up. Yeah, Life with Linda. Somebody made a joke about Baby It's Cold Outside last year and made a spoof about it.
No, someone wasn't making a joke. Someone was.
Well, yeah, like the spoof.
The whole
was a
thing
joke.
got upset. Like everyone got upset about the song and all that. And so then they came back with this like super appropriate version of the song.
The Holderness family. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, look up the Holderness family. Baby It's Cold Outside. It's
all
great.
their stuff is really funny. I remember their first like viral thing. Mary, have you heard? Yeah. Mary, did you know? What's the other one that's like? Oh, they're okay. So some of my favorites are like Joseph's Lullaby. There's a song called "You're Here" by Francesca Battistelli. Just all of those are really good. And another thing that I've really been into this year, which of course I know it's not Christmas time yet, but I've been learning some Christmas songs on piano so I can play them. And I've been going back to like some 1800s like hymns, like A Little Town of Bethlehem, but like the original version from the 1800s. And it's really, really fascinating. Like they're really pretty, but most of them are traditionally sung a lot higher than I comfortably sing. Yeah, there's no way that we can see all of these comments. But we do try.
Well, we do our best.
And
also, sometimes the Lord will use Roots and Refuge live commenting to test your patience and to grow you.
True that.
Test your persistence. How many times are you going to post the same question? Because it's honestly more likely that we'll see it.
Kilted Gardner was talking about the record player. I'm really digging that. I think it would be really cool to have a record player. My grandma used to have the Christmas Carol, Mr. Scrooge on vinyl, and we would listen to it every Christmas day on our record player. Oh, what a sweet memory, Cast Iron Mama. I love stuff like that. Like, I just think that would be really cool.
If we could only attend one function, which would you attend HOA or your shindig? Well,
we'll be at our shindig.
We have to be at the shindig.
Yeah. So that doesn't really count.
That's not really comparative. Like,
are you talking about you? If you can only attend one, we'll be at the shindig.
Well, she says if you. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense to me. Of course, me.
if I'm being completely frank, I mean, truly, if it comes down to
She said if you were someone else.
Yeah, if you were someone else. Okay.
Ask us privately.
Yeah.
I don't know if Nanda's still here.
I would honestly go to HOA. It's bigger. There's more to offer like at HOA. The Shindig was never meant to be like a comparison to HOA. Really, our intention for the Shindig was to be like a meetup, and we never expected people to come from far away. And truly, as far as educational value, like we're going to have some speakers and stuff this year, but it's one evening of fellowship and then one day of content. And like HOA has like 3 different like 3 different areas going of different stuff. And it's truly, if you're trying to learn about homesteading and you're really wanting to hook up with the YouTube community, like HOA, I say this, HOA is the one to go to in the year. If you can only go to one, that's the one to go to. Now, if you're really close here and you can't afford to go to HOA, or if, even if you're close here and you can afford to go to HOA and you come here too, I think that that's really good. But as far as like the value you're going to get out of it, I think HOA is probably going to be the better bet to choose for one. There's just so much value in the teaching that goes on there. Like everybody really brings some really rich content, and you're really going to go and it's not just going for the fellowship, which you do get. You're just going to learn a lot. Goldchild Farm said I can only afford to go to one event this year, and I went to HOA and it was totally worth it. Yeah. And I mean, the Heirloom Expo. Here's what's really cool. Like the Heirloom Expo, it's in California. HOA is in Virginia. So you've got like West Coast and East Coast going on. And, with the Shindig, we're kind of not quite in the middle of those, but, like more Midwest. And so it is nice to be able to have places. I really wish more people would get together and start doing events. Just meetups to bring the community together. There's not much in like the New England area. There's not a whole lot. There's some stuff in Michigan with the Pratts. We're doing something up in Michigan, and like there's some other things, but a lot of people have stated like in the, kind of more northern areas, there's not a ton. Hey, 180 degrees from average. Farmer Mima, I appreciate that. I really wanted to bring valuable content. I love to teach, but usually live, I end up so, not overwhelmed. Like I don't really feel like I have a hard time speaking in front of people, but I end up like going the more inspirational route whenever I'm in front of people, just because I do get so like emotionally like, whoa, seeing all the real people looking at me. But I really was trying to make sure that I taught something this year. Awesome Life with Linda. We were shocked that so many people came to the Shindig and are planning on coming to the Shindig again. We're glad. We're excited that you're coming. But we thought we were just going to do a little meetup. We did not plan on it turning into a big event.
Yeah.
All right, Lauren, whatever y'all need to do is fine. We'll be good. Y'all be safe. I think Texas has some events. I think Mother Earth News does some stuff in Texas, but I don't know much about their events. Oh, cool. The Honeystead. I haven't seen that yet. Christy, I'm not sure. It's not ringing any bells, but we actually have not been to our PO box in a little while, and I actually need to go because I got a notification the other day that they had a box that was too big for my PO box, so I need to go and get it. Bye, Amy. Y'all have a good night. Love you.
Guess where Lauren is headed, Jess?
Don't know.
Farm Life Outfitters is asking. I can only imagine that must be a hint.
I don't know where Lauren's going.
Or Lauren.
Oh, is she coming to you? She's kind of near there. The last message she sent me was about doTERRA and a picture pizza. I'm texting her. No, I don't have to guess. I'm not good at guessing. I don't like that. It makes me nervous. Mary Carter. I wish I would have known about this. I live just south of Little Rock. Well, we're doing the Shindig again. It'll be in April, the first weekend in April. So We'll go to the P.O. box tomorrow. Can you remember that?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we thought that with the shindig that we were going to be just doing like a little meetup. That's why we didn't plan, like we wanted to do like a plant sale type thing. We didn't plan on speakers. That's why we didn't have anything like that planned last year, because we just didn't know that it was going to turn into that. This year we're going to have
many people.
This year we're going to have some content though, and we're going to be announcing all of that stuff soon. Carrie Lynn, please watch the Hauler's most recent video. I will do that. I have not watched any YouTube lately, really. Oh man, 180 degrees from average says hopefully we can make it to the shindig, and hopefully this time I won't have to leave the shindig to bring a sick child back to your house. Yeah, Ethan missed the entire thing last year because he had a sick baby and I come back to our house. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm excited for our friends to come and get to hang out, and it's just going to be really good. I'm trying to figure out what all I'm going to start, because last year I started like 60 different varieties of tomatoes, but the thing that people wanted to buy my favorites. And so this year I think I'm going to start like my top 10 favorites and start a lot of them. Because last year I sold out of like the Dr. Ritchie's and the Painted Ladies and all of that stuff really, really fast. And then I had all these odds and ends ones, which I'd never tried before. And so this time, I'm thinking that I would like to do like multiple. Oh, that is really cool, Lauren. That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, like my thought was, well, I have all these really cool seeds for rare tomatoes, so I'll start different ones. But really, like I think people were wanting more like the suggestions of like what's the best. And so I'm just going to really start the ones that I can personally vouch for as being my favorites and being awesome. So like probably like Climbing Triple Crop, Dr. Ritchie's, like some of my favorite cherries, Wild Boar Farms varieties. Thank you, Grandma's Garden. I appreciate that.
Ben discovered. Maya, do you ever share your EDC with photos? What's EDC?
No, Green Zebra, I haven't gotten my new ones from Wild Boar Farms yet. I need to call Brad and talk to him, because we were talking about putting together a Roots and Refuge collection of my favorites from Wild Boar Farms to make available to you guys, but we just have not got. Brad and I are, neither one of us are marketers, like, which is like he's in sales and I'm in media, but neither one of us are like it's not our strong suit. So we just need to nail it down. Yeah, I think that would be really awesome. Ashley Dixon said, Jess has me addicted to Baker Creek. I think I order once a week now. That's funny. I'm going to be going up there in the next few weeks to like check out the new catalog and take a look at everything before it's like completely cold. They still have stuff in there. Now, last year I went the week of Thanksgiving, and the food in the restaurant
that
was
actually
so
might be go early
good. And I'm sitting here thinking like, I don't really want to be traveling the week of Thanksgiving, because I really want to stay home and like really cook and do that well. But I'm really excited to go up there, and the food is so good. If you live near Baker Creek, go eat at the restaurant the week of Thanksgiving. It's so good. You know, their restaurant is vegan, and like the food is amazing. And it was Thanksgiving food all week. So Desert Revelation.
We're moving
that's
to
awesome.
Kansas in January to start our homestead. Any advice?
Make a 5-year plan. Don't rush yourself. Learn how to do things well and do them like slowly and surely. I suggest really like getting your garden structure going before you worry about a whole lot of infrastructure for animals. I think garden is like, as far as growing your own food, that's like where the most bang for your buck is. And chickens are good. Chickens are a good first thing to get because they don't require a whole lot. Just don't get carried away because it's easy to end up with 150 chickens. Amber, yeah, I totally get seeds from Am I Gardener. I've got a video about seed companies that I like. I keep hiccuping. But Baker Creek is kind of my go-to. They've been my favorite for a really long time. But In My Gardener's is great. You can't beat the price, and he's got such a wonderful selection, and they're such sweet people. Botanical Interest is a really good company. There's so many good ones. Fruition Seeds is a really good one. Of course, Wild Boar Farms for tomatoes. I love Brad's stuff. And you know, there are a lot of ones that I don't know. I mean, that I just have never purchased from. Southern Exposure is a good one, and I've grown some of their seeds. Mary's, I think it's Mary's Heirloom Seeds is one. There are so many. Baker's Acres, I appreciate that. My hair just, I don't do very much, and some days it works out okay, and sometimes it just doesn't. So I just learned to be okay with it, whatever day it is. Ashley Wise, huge love of your channel. Do you ever find it tricky staying in the present moment while you're filming? I think the hardest thing that I have to deal with while filming is I always want to make sure that I'm telling like a cohesive story, and I have to get it's easier now than it used to be, but I used to have to really overcome like being a real perfectionist. Like, oh, I messed this up. And I would stop and I would say things again, and I would make more work editing and all of that. And now I've just gotten a little more comfortable with my reality, I guess, rather than feeling like I needed to show something completely polished. And you also just get more comfortable, period, being on a computer. I mean, on a camera. Will you try and sell your own seed line? Frenchie Homestead. I cannot imagine doing that anytime. Like, that would take such massive changes to our lives that it's hard for me to wrap my head around that ever being a possibility. When I go places like Baker Creek and I see the extensive, I mean, what they are doing is excellent. Like, I'm talking like their pick line, their storage rooms, the constant germination tests that are going on. I mean, the amount of work that they are going into making sure that what they're doing is excellent. I'm kind of just like, I'll just support you guys. You do you, I'll do me. Seeds structure would take, there's no way I can even just fathom that being a thing. Hey, the Toasted Rabbit, how are you guys doing? Tammy Gear asked Maya how you were doing.
I'm okay. I'm good. I was not feeling super great today. I have got this chest crud.
Yeah.
But
I was a little nervous because my dad had the flu.
I don't think I got that. Honestly, I think it's from all this crappy eating we did for the party this weekend.
Yeah. My 14-year-old had some friends over to celebrate his birthday, and he had some food requests for his birthday, and
they were not on our diet.
No, not at all.
Not even a diet. They weren't on our standard of living, but
yeah.
We compromised.
Because we're not really dieting so much. We've just said we're changing the standard of living, but at the same time, like, I want to be able to let my kids have like the things that are special to them on their birthdays and stuff like that. And those are really the only times that I've been okay with making an exception. But I think I'm going to have to figure out a way to do things a little bit differently. I don't know. Like,
my hands are like 99%. Look, that's all the scar that's left. That little Harry Potter lightning bolt on my palm. The biggest adjustment was because they cut into like the callus and stuff. Like, it's real sensitive and it's on like the palm, so smacking it. But honestly, the only way that you reestablish that is by having it make contact over and over again. So it's getting better every day.
He requested, here's what's crazy is I ate very little of this stuff, but just in cooking it, and I taste everything while I'm cooking it. He requested cinnamon rolls for his breakfast. Daniel came this weekend too. And Daniel asked me to make beef stew on Friday night. That's not necessarily unhealthy. It's just really heavy. And I made it. I mean, it was all like, I didn't deviate from ethically sourcing stuff. The only thing that I did was Jackson asked for chicken wings, but I already had a bunch of chicken wings in the freezer. And so it wasn't like a total like throw caution in the wind and just binge eat bad stuff, but we've been eating so clean and so healthy. So anyway, I did the beef stew on Friday night because Daniel wanted that. And then Jackson wanted cinnamon rolls on Saturday morning. So I cooked cinnamon rolls from scratch. And then he wanted chicken wings. And then he wanted cupcakes. And so I made cupcakes from scratch for his birthday. And of course, like when I'm making icing and stuff, like I don't know recipes. I just make it and taste it until it's right. And when you're not eating any sugar, sticking the tip of your finger in icing 4 or 5 times to make sure you got the right vanilla and, the right consistency and all that, like that's a lot when you're used to none. And so, yeah, I don't feel very good. Have you seen The Mandalorian yet?
I've seen the 2 episodes that they've released. They're pretty good. I'm a little disappointed in Disney, but it'll be okay.
Why? Oh, you don't want to
because
spoil
they built up all this. It has nothing to do with the storyline. They built up all this, like we're going to release these series and like the Marvel series and all that. So finally, the Mandalorian releases, and the last 2 episodes have been 30-something minutes each, and 5 of those minutes have been credits. So I'm like 20-something minutes in an episode. Like, really, guys? That's kind of pathetic. But as you can see, I'm a little passionate about that. I need 1-hour episodes, guys, if you're going to do a streaming service. Like 20-something minutes, no, not cutting it.
Megan said, I've been wanting to make cinnamon rolls. They're so good. Last time I accidentally started a fire in the oven when the pan overflowed. Oh, man, that's rough. There's a recipe on, I can't think of what the blog is named, 2 Peas in a Pod maybe. But if you look up Perry rolls, it's like her dad's recipe or something like that. And it's a really, really, really good cinnamon roll recipe. And that's the one that I've used. Linda, I don't think that I've noticed Zinni is attracting more bugs. Good bugs, pollinators, but they're constantly covered in bees and butterflies. But as far as like negative insects, I have not noticed that at all.
No, I also think that the app itself is awesome. I'm just disappointed in the show. Disney Plus, Jessica's losing her mind. She's like, Lady and the Tramp, Aladdin, Little Mermaid. Let's watch all the movies.
So, Mom, I literally just said to Jeremiah tonight, I was like, are you wanting me to go watch the Mr. Rogers movie with you? Because I was going to see if I could go take my mom to see it. I think it actually comes out this week, not Thanksgiving. Or is that...
Comes out this Thursday. That's what it said.
It said on the TV when it came out tonight. It said coming out Thursday, unless they weren't supposed to let that out. Yeah, it's set for release November 22nd. Thanksgiving's not till the next week. So, Mom, we should go watch that movie.
I'm going to go watch Midway on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Jessica does not want to see a World War II movie, but I sure do.
Nope. No, thank you. I don't like any movies that are too graphic that make me feel scared. Okay. So Desert Revelation asks about favorite cuts of meat in the butcher box. So
you cooked that whole chicken today.
I cooked a whole chicken today. That's the first time I've cooked one of the whole chickens. And it was really exceptional. I cooked it. I roasted it for lunch and took not all the meat off, but like a good bit of it off to, made a couple lunches off of it. Everybody else ate something else, and then actually shredded it and then cooked the bones down to broth and made soup. But that was really good. The salmon that they have is really, really good. I'm more of like a fish eater, and I had made some steaks for Ben Turn and gave them to them on a salad, and those were all really good. Everything
we've tasted so far has been on another level of flavor.
I used that roast out of there to make that beef stew and some stew meat. The stew meat was more tender in the stew. The roast was good in the stew. It tasted really great, but it would have been better cooked as a roast, like slow cooked a little longer rather than boiled.
See you of little and light.
Yeah, Tammy Gear, Daniel was here today, and I spatchcocked roast that chicken. And I was explaining to him about like ethically sourcing meat and eating smaller portions and different stuff like that, and like making those stretch to more meals. And it was, I don't know, we were having a conversation about that today, and I really did make it stretch because I roasted that one chicken, fed Daniel lunch. I didn't end up eating very much of it for lunch, but then it was not a huge chicken, but then I shredded it and then cooked everybody dinner off of it. So that's pretty good. I mean, for for one bird. Peace, Love, Homestead. You're gonna like those. Those are really good.
I'm looking forward to the turkey for sure.
Yeah, I'm absolutely looking forward to the turkey. We grew our turkeys one year, and they were exceptional. Like everybody said, it was the best turkey they'd ever had, and so I'm really like expecting this to be on that level. Because when we grew them, we didn't even do like organic feed. Like we free ranged them and stuff, but we just fed them conventional feed. That's all we could afford, and they were still way better than anything you ever got in like a factory raised situation. We've like really drawn the line on not purchasing factory raised meat. And, you know, like for instance, like I did have to go buy a little bit of chicken wings this weekend. And I mean, that's a hard thing to source ethically because, you know, wings, I mean, maybe if I'd been able to find a local farmer, I could have found something like that. But like I said, I'm willing to make exceptions sometimes for birthdays when it's necessary for someone to feel special and loved. Like I don't want to let that come in the way of that. But I mean, I'm really hoping like with our younger boys that have been growing up in this, that the things that they'll want for their special meals and their birthday won't be against that stuff. Samara Music, how is the lettuce in the greenhouse doing? So I goofed on that. I don't know if y'all remember, I showed in a vlog. I let the greenhouse get too hot and it zapped a lot of it, and it's growing, and some of them are getting to be about this big. But the whole letting it get really hot, I think messed up some of it, but it's still going to grow. It's just not. Any of you tried coon pork? Do you like it? Thinking of buying and raising them? Frenchie Homestead, I know several people have raised coonies that have YouTube. Does anybody know of any off the top of your head? Yeah, Michelle, the recipe that I use for my turkey is Tyler Florence's balsamic fig glazed turkey recipe. So if you look that up, that's just type that in Google and it'll come up. Tyler Florence's balsamic fig glazed turkey. And Patty, I used to brine my turkey. I used to do Alton Brown style, and it was a brine that had orange juice in it, and obviously like a good deal of salt, crystallized ginger, peppercorns. I haven't cooked it like that in like probably 10 years. But I would do that, and I did that for a few years, and I would soak it out. But the only thing that was difficult with brining it was having a good place to brine it, but keep it cold enough. So that was kind of difficult. And then I found that Tyler Florence recipe. And you make a cornbread stuffing with figs. Like I get dried figs. I mean, that's all that we will have access to during November. And sometimes I'm able to pick them fresh during season off my sister-in-law's tree and dehydrate them myself. But this year I got a bunch of them, and I made jam and ate them all fresh. I didn't dehydrate any, so I'll just have to buy some. But what you do is you like rehydrate the figs, and you brown sausage, and you break up cornbread, and it's got like heavy cream in it, salt and pepper, I think sage probably, and you put maybe some rosemary and all of that together, and you chop the figs and you put it in there, and you take the liquid that you rehydrate the figs in, and you cook that down, and you add I can't remember, honey and balsamic vinegar, and you cook that down to like a syrup. And so you stuff the turkey with that, roast it, and then you baste it with that syrup towards the end. It's really, really, really good.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
Sherry Herring said Weedham and Reap are raising coonies. That's cool.
That's true.
So
let's wrap it up. We got 1 minute left.
Oh, I didn't realize it was already.
Mm-hmm.
Did the haulers get coonies? Is that what they got? I think some. No, there's American guinea hogs. I think
they may have both.
Guinea. Oh, really? Okay.
I think someone was giving them some coonies, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. We'll have to go back and watch some videos.
Yeah, another thing I really want to do, and I've got a recipe earmarked, is like fermenting some cranberries. I'm going to try that. Do y'all fish a lot? I saw the one
don't
video, but was curious. We do a lot of saltwater fishing here, and it's awesome way to stock the freezer with good meat. Actually, we don't. Like, I go fishing with my brother, but I don't fish.
Fly
Like,
fishing is catch and release.
Well, not everybody does, but he does. He's a catch and release fisherman. And so, like, when
They're
I go
doing
with him,
it for hobby.
Yeah, when I go
that's
with
not
him,
something we're pursuing now for sustainability. Not that we couldn't.
I mean, the skills are good to have. If you
Yes,
ever
but
need
we're
them.
not currently trying to stock with a bunch of fresh caught fish. Not right now.
Okay, Farm Life Outfitters gave them pig. Don't know the kinds. I'm sure. Yeah, guinea hogs. Okay.
What was the name of the chicken book you recommended a while back? I don't remember.
Well, Joel Salatin has a really good book on raising chickens.
We have done meat chickens. We actually one of the big things we're doing this spring is gearing up for a full meat poultry operation, turkeys and chickens.
Amanda, we should say we have raised chickens that we butchered. We've never intentionally raised.
We butchered extra
chicken.
Roosters. We've raised intentionally raised meat turkeys.
Yeah. We raised meat turkeys once, but the only chickens we've ever butchered, like, we had a whole bunch of extra roosters once that we butchered like 10 or 12 in a day, and that was the most we've ever done. We used to have a bunch of roosters, and we would go like butcher like one and cook it for dinner. But that was, I didn't really dig that. And so we're going to do like a run of like raising 50 meat birds and putting them all in the freezer.
Yep, it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys.
All right. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap this up. I am so tired.
Breed of turkeys, we're looking at, we got some.
Well, we're going to do heritage turkeys.
Yeah, and we're looking at 3 different kinds.
We actually just got Murray McMurray's new catalog that's not out yet.
Yeah, they sent it to us.
And I was feeling pretty MVP over that. Like, totally. Like,
it's like, this isn't even out yet. Looking through the pages, you guys don't even know what this says. Ooh, this is new. They don't even know yet. Ooh, we're so cool. Isn't it pretty bad when it's like you get that like kind of like almost haughty, like the whole story like check you because you're getting haughty about the chicken catalog? It's like, ooh, the Baker Creek catalog that no one's seen. Ooh, I get to know.
I don't have that.
You could have.
If I did, I would be about myself. But I don't have it.
Anyways, we're going to be working with Murray McMurray. We met them a couple of times in London. And so we are definitely gearing up for some meat bird.
Yes, and naturally NC. I love my catalogs.
So they sent us a new catalog so we could get our what our request is in early before they sell out of everything. So actually we're getting to
me and my fancy chicken looks. Fancy.
That's why we're not buying anything for Christmas, because she got her 2 catalogs she wanted.
Listen, I love catalogs. I really do. Okay, last thing, and then we're going to wrap this up. So people ask me sometimes, they're like, Jessica, how do you have such a memory for like seed varieties and plant varieties? Because I can pop off a ridiculous amount of information about heirloom plant varieties and tell you details and recognize them. And people, they're like, do you have a notebook? And I'm like, no, I don't. Do you want to know why? Because I study the catalog through the winter. I literally memorize it. Like, I literally will sit and read a catalog so many times that it is falling apart because I miss my garden. And so I sit there, and that's what it is. It's just that I don't have anything else to learn right now. And so like I'm studying seed catalogs. And so, yeah.
Goldshaw, this year, the naked neck, it's getting real risque in here. That's going to be the new styles for the chickens. It's completely naked.
I didn't think you wanted us to get any of those.
And the vlog, no, we're totally not getting those. I was making a joke. And the vlog does have a song by Daniel about male goats peeing on their own faces.
Yeah, me and Daniel went out today, and because Daniel used to do this thing. Oh, I shouldn't tell you all this because it's going to be on the vlog tomorrow, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So Daniel used to do this thing whenever he lived here, and I would be like in the house, and all of a sudden I would hear him singing outside, and I'd be like, what is he doing? Because he lived next door with Jeremiah's mom, and I would go out there, and he'd be sitting on this stump in the goat yard singing, like he'd just be worshiping in the goat yard, and the goats would all like crowd around him while he sang. And so today he went out and was like singing. Oh, there he is. He's listening to it. So today he went out and was singing songs to the animals. It was so funny. I hope the video that I got of it was good. I hope it does it justice. You know, sometimes like the sound, it's hard whenever you're outside, but I hope it does it justice because it was really, really funny.
All right, guys, we got to go because we're going to spend the whole night watching, looking through the catalogs and choosing the special stuff or whatever. I don't know. We're actually not going to do that, are we?
My tea's cold.
No, I drank my tea already.
All right. Good night, y'all. We bless you.
Bye.